fucking crap, everybody. It's me, the one, the many, the often, the always. It's Monster Mack. I'm trying to come up with a catchphrase, but I don't got it down yet, Trainee.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that's the catchphrase, dude.
That's not it?
I'm a little confused by that one. I'm not going to lie to you.
And sitting on the side of me, guess who it is? You already know because you just heard his voice. It's Trainee number one in his house in the lovely log cabin that is owned by Scott Levesque. We're here in whatever city he lives, and we got an interesting podcast for the fans because we're going to review some of the wrestling that's going on because we got Peter Crave in the house once again on the podcast.
Mac, I always tell you, you do terrible at introductions to give me the microphone, and you just never do it. I don't know what his problem is. Crave, you can talk now, man. He already introduced you.
This is like, what, the 12th or 13th one you guys done, and he can't get this thing going? Can't get the ball going?
Still can't get the introductions down, Crave. And like Mac was saying, this is not, we're not going to sit here. I'm sure we're going to get into, we'll tell some funny stories from the past because it kind of always just goes that way. But we're not digging into too many details. We're not going to try to interview you again or anything like that. This is more like a wrestling roundtable. We're going to, do some pay-per-view opinions and all that good stuff. I wanted to do one after Mania, but it just didn't happen.
Nah, it doesn't happen as much.
We would like it to.
It's tough to get away sometimes,
It's true, man. Real life gets in the way of the fun stuff sometimes.
I know. I sneak this fun stuff around, though.
Yeah,
I find a way.
You always try to make the fun stuff happen. And so, Crave, I want to get started. What did you think of Mania?
WrestleMania 29.
Yeah.
We just got the DVD right here. We're actually watching the Hall of Fame from it.
Is this yours or is this?
Yeah, I brought it over.
You brought it, okay.
Something to be playing in the background, as you guys like to do.
Yeah, it's true.
I thought it was an okay show. It wasn't the greatest WrestleMania of all time,
right?
By any means. But, Punk and Taker was probably match of the night.
Of course, yeah.
If I can remember.
That kind of.
I mean, this is 2 months later, so.
At this point, it's been a minute, so. But, yeah, I'd say Punk and Taker was match of the night.
I mean, they had the crowd right where they wanted them, and it was a very good back-and-forth type style match.
What was your feelings about Undertaker not doing his dive?
It was a good... They did a good way to cover it up so he wouldn't kill himself, because he always kills himself.
He taunted the dive.
He taunted
right?
it, but Paul Heyman was there to...
I think as long as...
Right?
I think
as
long as he taunted it, I think that's totally cool.
That's fine. You want to see him kill himself again?
No, I don't. I don't know if he has it in him to do that dive.
And then you had Punk stealing all his spots, doing old school, and
sticking his tongue out when he was pinning him.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's pretty funny. And so what were some of the other matches on Mania? I don't even really remember, to tell you the truth.
We had Jack Swagger. He had the We the People gimmick.
Weed the People. Yeah.
Weed the People because he screwed up his own push by getting pulled over.
See,
and
we didn't really talk about that much. I mean, Jack Swagger got a DUI. He got what?
No, it was not DUI.
No, he got
under the influence of weed, not drunk.
Not drinking. It's still a DUI though.
DWI.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. So he's driving while intoxicated from marijuana, and it just kind of. Do you think they were going to put the belt on him at that time, or?
I don't know. It seemed that they were going to go that way. I mean, to me, Del Rio, the babyface Del Rio, is still not really clicking now, and I don't think it was clicking then. Really,
it doesn't click for you.
The Mexican Bret Hart or whatever they were trying to push him. And
yeah.
I don't know. I don't get the bucket thing. Does anybody get the bucket thing?
Why? I don't understand why he comes out with a bucket. I have no idea.
It's cost him more matches than one, so I don't know what the deal is with that, guys.
Dude, I have no idea what the bucket's about. Do people throw change in it?
I don't know. Is it like a slot
to cool his margaritas down? Well, what is it?
It's like an ice chest. Maybe they party a lot.
Ah, I see.
Steal cars and do all the things that the stereotypical
whatever that deal is.
Do.
So, and then the Shield wrestles at Mania, right?
The Shield, yeah, they were in a 6-man. I think that was what we had: Big Show and Sheamus and Orton. And they did the whole gimmick where, where they're going to coexist or not between Sheamus and Big Show. And it ended up being Randy Orton tagging himself in and costing them the belt. The
match,
win.
Yeah. What are your feelings on the Shield? Because I'm really big on Moxley.
Oh, yeah, Dean Ambrose.
I'm pro Dean Ambrose.
I don't know how they do it or what's going on, but it's like you can put a 6-man match together, and it's different every single time. But it's good. It's not like the same thing you see every week.
Right.
and they just change up the guys sometimes, so it's different dynamic, and they always have exciting matches. The fans obviously hate them or love them,
whatever way they're leaning.
And I think that they're red hot right now. They have all the belts right now.
Yeah, the tag belts, the
U.S. belt. So that means what? That means Dean Ambrose should be jobbing to anybody that's above the United States Championship. Isn't that how it works? Anybody that has the middle of the road title doesn't get.
Let's talk
stalled.
about Shield's future. What do you find them in a few years when the Shield gimmicks died off? They can't do anything else with it. Do you see some guys keeping their spot? Yeah, who's left over pretty much?
I don't know about I feel like Dean Ambrose kind of has this like Brian Pillman type thing to him.
You can see
and
it
Roddy
in his
Piper.
eyes, man.
It's like what Pillman could have been if he wasn't such a wacko. You know what I mean?
The way that he moves around the ring.
And he shouts and stuff during the matches.
Man, he's just, I don't know. I'm big on Mox. I seen that dude take a sawzall to the forehead.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
Yeah, dude, I seen it.
It
blows my mind. I watched it in slow motion. You can see the flap of his skin flap as it's going through. Dude, it's crazed.
It's pretty gross.
I remember the first time seeing John Moxley. It was 2010. I saw that tournament that you're referring to, CZW. And it's a very simplistic thing, but just his facials, I was like, oh, man, this guy has it, And that was all the way back to 2010 during the height of his indie status,
And what is it really in indies for that long, though, right? He kind of just like...
a couple of years. He kind of
and shot right
into,
went, I always call it OVW,
but it's whatever
FCW.
it is. NXT.
NXT now.
The WWE Performance Enhancing Center or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's just going to be in what? They're going to open up a new building?
A school or something? Yeah.
With like 6 rings and...
It's too many rings.
It's crazy.
Too many rings.
Well, some people need some extra ring work, I think, guys. I think that's what it is.
So do you think you think Ambrose is...
I don't know where he'll be,
the guy.
But as long as they keep him what he's doing now. I think they really liked Roman Reigns for the whole, like, beast, and I think he's supposed to be the one they want to eventually push. Yeah, he's like related, and is he like
he's related
to,
to The Rock?
So
yeah,
he's got a lot
cousins or something.
He's got a lot of inside help, I think.
Oh,
I think
sure,
Seth Rollins is probably going to thrive as a babyface eventually.
Soon, like maybe not soon. But
if they break up, he's probably going to be the one.
He's going to be the one that turned
babyface. So start screwing up, and I can see that happening.
And Tyler Black is good too. I mean, he's very strong. I mean, Ambrose to me sticks out, but to me it's Moxley. Tyler Black, and then Giant Rock cousin.
Dean Ambrose he can talk, he can take bumps, he can do all the other psychology. But the other, Rollins has like the speed, and he's just like...
Rollins,
everything's like chaotic when he's in the ring,
he's all kind of...
He throws his knees around as the flying knee and all the different stuff, and I don't know. I'm getting a kick out of it, really. I think it's... let's see where they go from here, though.
And then the big Mania match of the year was... Rock versus Cena 2.
Yeah, it was all right. We kind of just like were there, and it just went through it, and it was over. And it kind of came out of nowhere. It was just like, ooh, block the finish. I block your finish. Oh, I hit it. You kick out. I kick out. And then whoever gets the next one is going to win.
Right.
And then like what Rock like tore his... Isn't that what they say? He got injured?
Didn't he tear his quad last year, too, or something?
He tore his quad from the John Cena Sicilian slice thing that he kills people with.
And this year he tore his abs.
Yeah, he said like his insides and his intestines were sticking out of his stomach or some crap. And
dude, that's crazy.
And then he's like 2 weeks later, hernia. That's what it was, right?
I heard it was more than a hernia.
Now he's filming Hercules, so miraculously,
it's over. Is he doing his own stunts in the movie?
I don't know.
If he's not doing his own stunts, he can be hurt and do that.
He still has to like work out to look like Hercules, though, right? Because I think that's what he was building up.
See, Dan Strike says he can have a colostomy bag.
Well, he must know. I don't know.
Dan Strike, did you ever heard of you before? Feel free to join this conversation.
Yeah, this is a wrestling clinic.
Yeah, this is like a clinic. Everybody,
people's opinions.
Yeah, it's not just me and him. So pass that. Oh, Eric Dillon's not showing up. What a surprise.
Oh, he's going to be part of this?
What? Scott Levesque invited everybody and their mother last night to come join us, including Everett Briggs. And Everett Briggs, if you can hear me, stay home because you're not welcome here.
He's going to be a guest. Big money future guest, Everett Briggs.
No,
Joe Blica.
Joe Blica was the guy that lost to the top rope.
I was
right?
just
He
gonna say
clotheslined
that
himself.
if you'd like to see Eric Briggs lose to a rope during Rick Fuller's match, you can check out the House of Bricks Facebook page at HOB Wrestling. Facebook/HOB Wrestling. You can check out that match. It's on there. I haven't got to watch it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. Does the ropes electrocute him? What happened there? How do you lose to a pair of
fun
ropes?
fact is I was actually the referee for that match. So I
ask
got the
Crave,
front row seat of him, Fuller pulling me aside, telling me, like, listen, everything I say will be fine.
Who said it to you, Fuller? Or?
Fuller told me
Okay.
just
I thought
he was going to direct traffic and tell me.
Yeah.
And then I assumed that he was going to let him kick out, but he just told me, that's it, it's over, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And, I couldn't believe it. Like, it was a whip off the off the ropes. Obviously, he was going for a big boot. Everybody sees it. Everybody in the building or in the yard knows it's coming, right?
Yeah.
And somehow, I don't know what he did. Like, he put himself underneath the ropes like he was... I think he was just, like, getting ready for the big boot. He didn't want to get killed.
Right.
And he went underneath and came back and he cut his head off,
And it just
then it was just
collapsed to the
one-
ground.
and he just pinned him. 1, 2, 3. And then Fuller told me to tell him good job. So,
There
it was
it
a great
is.
job.
Yeah, great job. Tie it to the ropes, kid.
And he still has a great career to this day, so...
I don't know if it's great, but I tell you right now, Scott Levesque, if I show up here and Joey Bleeks is here to do a podcast, me and you are not going to be friends anymore. I'll take my DDP yoga back from you, and I will head right back home, my friend. Don't think I won't.
If we did like a Joey Bleeks podcast, that would be the most downloaded podcast of Mackcast history.
I think
You
that
hear
would...
me?
I
T1?
believe that.
Yeah,
Because people
it
are
might
going
be true, but I think it's because they're going to be like, oh, we're going to listen to this because Joey Bleeks is like really, like, I don't want to say like
So what you guys
politically
do-
incorrect phrase.
You guys do it the same thing you guys did to Rob Roberts and Bob Wire.
Training.
You interview him like it's a real interview, but it's bullshit.
And you just
It's
let him make an ass of himself, is what you're saying.
right there, don't kill
And
yourself.
Strikes is throwing up in the corner of the room.
Joey Blakes, if you're listening, I apologize. That's not my personal opinion. That might be my trainees. But, so, Crave, we talked about the Undertaker match. What about Brock Lesnar?
Oh, yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
I've
whatever
been loving
it is.
it.
Yeah.
I'm loving it up.
You're loving the Brock
Oh,
Lesnar?
yeah, it's
throwing
awesome.
furniture and killing the Miz with
Breaking
furniture and stuff?
keyboards with his bare hands. I'm down.
Oh, yeah. I missed that whole office
you
thing.
didn't see
I
that?
missed
The
that.
office looked like
I heard it
crap.
was-
Did not look
yeah.
like Triple H's office.
It was so goddamn lame.
Tiny. It was a
It was
tiny
the
ass
Triple
office.
H office. Come
But
on.
he did
it
break-
had the sledgehammer on the
Yeah,
wall,
for
right?
him
That's
to
what's
mess
really going to
stuff
be
up,
there
yeah.
in his office.
There was a picture of him in at WrestleMania when he wrestled Undertaker on
And
the
him
wall.
and him and Trish doing
Yeah.
the stretch. Wasn't that in the background too? No.
That was on there.
No, that was
But
not
yeah,
on.
he destroyed that office. But you could clearly see that that's not Triple H's office because
Well, did
Triple
you
H's
see the
office
little,
is
they
in
did
the
it-
ring.
They did a little subtle hint with the Rock and Brock Lesnar with a little stare because that's supposed to be what's supposed to happen, but we don't know because I don't know. I think it's up to really like the movie producers and all that. Like, do they want to invest $6 million, $20 million, whatever it is to
That's a
pay The
lot of
Rock to
money.
do movies, so he can do this little wrestling thing where he can actually cost him a lot of money pushing back, filming different movies. So he's got to really think about what's more important: his movie career or making a couple fans happy. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I think they kind of overused him too. He's not as he was just like one of the regular guys. Eventually, it's not like a big deal. Still Brock Lesnar still kind of has that mystique, even though he's lost 2 of his matches, one against John Cena that shouldn't have happened during John Cena's
what'd you
terrible
think-
year
what-
last year.
What did you think personally about the match at WrestleMania?
Or the Brock and Triple
Yeah.
H match. I thought it was all right, but it was kind of flat because they did the Taker match. They did all the main events right in a row without any interruptions or anything. It was so weird the way
Usually
they did
they throw
Mania.
like a chick match in there.
Now that I remember
or,
now.
like Snoop Dogg performed something. You know what I
No,
mean?
it wasn't Snoop Dogg.
Not Snoop. I'm just throwing a random.
Snoop
guy
Dogg
in
did
there.
it like with the bunnies and stuff and the divas just dancing
Right,
around.
yeah, that's
and
right,
then
that's
we had
right.
that terrible Kid Rock one.
Oh yeah.
He sang like every album I think he had.
Just straight through. It was an hour and a half Kid Rock performance during WrestleMania.
I think I'm going to be a comedian if this is how I can get people to react to.
Dan Strikes is literally just laughing and it looks like throwing up in a cup over there. from the stuff that Crave is saying. So you're saying they had the 3 matches in a row, the 3 main
No
events?
interruptions. There was no backstage interviews. Not that I remember. No promos. There was no America the Beautiful. They didn't even sing that. That was the weirdest thing.
I'm okay with that, by the way.
Oh, okay.
They didn't sing it.
Now,
It's a tradition.
Yeah.
Training number 1.
you're talking about the main events. Let's skip a little before. Fandango versus Chris Jericho. I didn't actually catch that match. How did that come about? Was it a surprise
There was a little.
match,
Wasn't there a little like hiccup at the end? There was like a.
I don't know. I don't know.
Not a
I missed that
surprise.
one.
I guess it was a surprise because he pinned Jericho.
Yeah.
But they kind of had like a little miscommunication, little
During WrestleMania? Because I
small
know
package.
they did
the
the
finish
same
was a
thing.
little off.
Well, I know that
But they
happened
said-
at Extreme Rules, but with the Schoolboy or the Sunset Flip or whatever it was supposed to be.
Yeah,
And-
I mean, it wasn't the cleanest, you know.
I seen Fandango kick Chris Jericho in the face during that Extreme Rules match, and then I seen the receipt of Chris Jericho chopping Fandango in the face. I thought it was pretty awesome, but I don't know about that Fandango guy. I'm not feeling it, Crave. What about
No,
you?
I don't know. Now he's down to. He lost to Jericho, right? Now he's in that feuding with the Miz and Wade Barrett. Is Wade Barrett gonna be babyface? Are they leaning towards a Wade Barrett turn? I don't know. It's just strange the way they book the mid-level talent.
No, we have to be missing something else. What other matches were we missing at WrestleMania?
I don't think there was much.
Nothing
anything
really
else
too good. We went over the
important to talk
main.
about, really. I think we have other issues. Levesque had a whole list of things he wanted us to talk about in this clinic here.
You have a list? How do you guys know that? Did he email it to you?
Oh, we were talking on my lunch about what kind of topics we can talk about, and there's so many great things out
So
there.
what do we
right
got?
now,
Let's
you know?
talk, fellas. Where's the list at?
It's like on the phone. We didn't really write it down.
Start off. We've been going for like 17 minutes.
This is something
homie.
he's obviously thought about
Oh, of course, of course.
because he's the thinker, the producer now, right, or something.
Apparently.
The booker.
AAA, Mexico. Can they make a mark in the U.S.?
Is this the thing with Xbox
Yeah, they're doing that
involved in?
Indiegogo, or the Kickstarter deal where they're trying to.
Yeah.
So
Xbox has something to do.
yeah,
with that. He's talking
X-Pac,
to-
Kevin Gill from JCW, and Conan. I think are the 3 big guys behind it.
I don't know. Do you think Lucha can get over in the United States like that?
I don't know, man. They,
it was always
they
like a
did
crazy
that.
thing in the back of my mind. I always wanted to do.
Yeah, they did that Lucha Libre USA thing with Cole Cabana was on that, right? And John Walters.
That MTV that did that. I believe they were airing it.
MTV2 too.
2, I see.
Well, there you go. They put on MTV2 so people can see it. Right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It depends on who's in the promote, like who they're gonna use. Who's in AAA? I don't even know.
I don't know.
Conan.
Conan. Jindrak. He's a big star over
Mock
there.
Jindrak.
Mock Jindrak. Yep, he's a big deal over there. They call him like something Corleone or some crap. I don't know.
Corleone.
Yeah,
Like
something
a
like
mafia
that.
deal.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of a weird topic.
Man,
AAA.
it's a
Well,
weird
you're
topic.
a luchador there, Monster Mac. How do you feel
He's
about
a
this?
French luchador, though. It's different.
Oh, they're
I'm
used to.
hoping if they have La Parka come back, they bring back the
What?
LA
Park. There's two La
I'm
Parkas
talking
now.
about both of them, sucker. I want to
Oh.
see the tag team just like back in the promotion that I didn't watch. Maybe that's why it failed. But MTV2 I did not get.
Right now.
I thought MTV2 was just music videos.
What channel is MTV2 on? Go. Exactly.
I don't even have that.
That's why we don't see it. It's kind of a stupid place to put it.
274 or something like that.
Maybe.
It's
They have the
it's up there.
skateboarding shows and crap on that, right?
Yeah, the Rob Dyrdeks and all
Oh,
that.
wait a minute. This is a pretty good spot of the Hall of Fame here.
Is this when? This looks. Foley's
Nick
gonna,
Foley was talking about how
he's
he's
gonna
never
drop
beat
an elbow
Chris
on Jericho. Boom!
That's
Big
what you
sell
heard of.
job by Jericho. Fans are going wild. 1, 2, 3. So if I was Jericho, I would have kicked out at 2. The whole crowd would have popped. That would have been hilarious.
But that means you would have to do another elbow and kill himself. So we can't have Mick Foley hurt himself.
The Hall of Fame was pretty good. I enjoyed this Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, I watched everything. I up to the Bruno. I haven't seen the Bruno because Donald Trump came out first.
Right, and so you
And
just
I
you
was
turned it
like,
off.
I'll watch it some other time. I watched all the other ones. The Booker T one with Stevie Ray.
I thought it was
pretty good.
hilarious that they put in the promo. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, and they cut out the N-word part. I thought that was hilarious.
That was a good
You
dig.
thought I was going to
Booker
drop the
T.
N-word, didn't you?
No,
no,
we don't do
my
that
friend.
stuff on this podcast, do we?
It's something we can swear on it, but we don't go
Well,
racist.
we can't go racist.
We don't go
can't have
racist.
Bigotry.
No, well, Dan Strikes dropped the C word in a podcast that got recorded and destroyed. He was quoting Jim Cornette, but he still dropped the C bomb, a hard C.
A C bomb.
He said the C-bomb so
See you
many
next
times
Thursday,
we could
that
not
one?
air his podcast.
Ooh.
We had to pull it off the charts.
There was a child in the room.
The mother took the kid out of the room.
Oh
she was
my God.
crying. But
You can't
no, that's
say
not
those
really
little
what happened.
women
We
around.
were in
They
the
get
process of filming a
upset.
podcast with Dan Strikes, and we had some technical problems. But we promise you, fans, that we're going to bring Dan Strikes back. But, Dan, before you leave...
We never brought him.
No, we attempted the podcast.
Oh, all right.
But before you leave, Dan, I need to tell you, get some more info. Come on, man. Oh, he's coming back. He's gonna.
I was
get
gonna say
some
Dan
more
didn't
info.
even contribute, except for
You're not
laughing.
taking the sweet tots that
He's
you gave
spitting
me,
in a
right?
cup.
He gave me some sweet tot candies for inviting him down on the podcast, but we pulled them off and it failed, so he's taking the sweet tots back. But
Lucha Libre, no, I don't think it's gonna work.
I'm not too. I don't know, man. I would watch the Lucha Libre show. Like I watched it when I could on MTV when I actually knew it was on and stuff. But I don't know, man. I don't know if that's gonna get over with like a mass media project.
I watched
like
some of the old CMLL. Remember
Yeah,
I used to have it? I used to have satellite for a little while. You guys used to come over, used to watch it. At my mom's house.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of like it's just like sloppy though. The wrestling sloppy because everything's like the opposite,
isn't
right?
there a lot of 6-mans too? They love their 6-man
A lot
tags.
of 6-mans, a lot of 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah, very strange. Do they do the octagon ring?
I mean, Sin Cara is a big star over there, and look at him here. I mean,
What happened to Sin Cara?
he's a botch.
That's pretty much
He
it.
just can't get
so-
over. He has no he can't get the fans invested in his matches because he can't he's not like Kane and people that can get people over, get people to cheer by his emotions and his reactions and stuff. You know, I just think he just doesn't have what it takes.
No, my question to you is, what's your feelings on Team Mack Attack winning the Whaling City Championship Wrestling?
Whaling City Wrestling Championships.
Whaling City Wrestling Championship, second time, baby. It happened. We defeated the Convicts.
In a 4-way, or did they scratch that match?
No,
That was booked. I read online.
No, we were in a 3-way to become the #1 contenders to wrestle the Convicts later in the night.
Oh, okay.
Mack, Whaling World Championship Wrestling and Whaling City Wrestling do not get combined when you name the promotion. It's not Whaling Championship Wrestling. That's not what it is.
All right, I got that now. It's bang. It's in the memory bank. Whaling City Wrestling Champions. You're talking to them. You're sitting in the same room with them. And there was some controversy with the Convicts. One of them was packing heat in the locker room. I was terrified.
Is that real? Is this a real
that's
story,
legit
or?
right there. I seen his gun. I had to get out of there as soon as possible.
Sure, it was his
But,
gun and not something else. So. Hey,
Scott Levesque, you got any more topics? Is any other topics?
wait a
you'd
minute!
like to
Didn't you
talk
just ask me a
about?
question about?
What? I just asked you a
I
question.
think it's wonderful that you're the tag team champions of the
Oh,
Whaling
no,
City
no, that wasn't a
universe,
legit.
or whatever
That
the
wasn't a
hell it is.
legit question, Pat Crave. That was just
What?
that was a way to put myself over and say that I won the tag team belts.
Oh, okay. I'm glad. So that
Single-handedly.
means I don't
No,
have to.
I'm just joking. It
I
wasn't
don't have to hear you
single-handedly.
crying about you losing the SPW.
No, no,
whatever the hell
it's
it
all
was.
positive. The news. The belts are back on the mantle. I took the hats and the candy off the shelves, and I put the belt back on there.
Well,
It's officially up.
congratulations, guys. It's,
Well, I appreciate
a
it,
big
man.
accomplishment. Let's try to keep those for a whole year or something. You know.
Oh, it's gonna
Keep
happen.
down all comers.
The new goal is to win the Showcase Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships. Showcase Pro Wrestling Tag Team Championships. And we're going to have both belts at the same time. That's the new goal. You got it?
That's just a great
It's
idea.
it's one to accomplish. I'll tell you that right now, Crave. So, Scott Levesque, you got any topics that we want to throw in right now?
There's an alleged sexual harassment between Christy Hemme and Austin Aries in TNA and how they handle that. What do you guys think about that?
I think it's nonsense. That's what I think that's not.
I think in any
That
other
wasn't
profession.
sexual harassment, man. Come on.
And
She's a heel. I mean, he's a heel,
now
and she botched.
the story was that Christy Hemme said, "Come into the ring, Daniel Singletarian," and it was
Right.
really Austin Aries and Bobby Roode, right?
Right.
Isn't that what the thing was? And then he kind of got upset about it.
Yeah, back to
Backed her in the
back
corner.
to talk some nonsense. I'm a heel.
And then
when she announced his name, he hopped up and celebrated on the second rope. That's not
with his sweaty balls in her face.
They weren't sweaty yet.
And
he didn't have his match
they
yet.
said that she had that like laughing, but you know how sometimes when you get sexual harassed, I know.
I've never laughed while being sexually harassed.
I don't think men can be sexually harassed.
That's
sorry.
not true.
I can't unless it's like some old lady would. It's just disgusting. I just think guys can't be sexually harassed.
So what do you think of like?
I think
they find him and shit or something. Like they find him a bunch of money.
Like if Monster Mack in his real profession did that to a girl at the job that he has,
Monster Mack's real profession is to bang ladies.
Well,
so if he did that at his job, they will clap.
If it's an unwanted hit on, you could get in a lot of trouble.
What if I did it in the ring?
If you did it in the ring,
to the ring announcer
show, it's different because wrestling is like a different animal. Like the whole problem is because of his wrestling. Now, did Austin Aries get fined, or did the character Austin Aries get fined? Do you know? Did they really get in trouble?
No,
did he get in trouble?
I
didn't say it.
That on TV that he was getting fined?
No, they announced it online. But they said that Austin Aries was going to be fined. Didn't say how much. Didn't say.
No, I didn't see personally how close was his crotch to her face.
It was.
He backed her. He backed her to the buckle. Yeah. And she's got her back against the turnbuckle, and he hopped up to the. He hopped up to the second rope while she was in the buckle, so his crotch was right there in her face, like right here.
And they showed it on TV. You didn't really hear any controversial stuff about it until afterwards online.
Afterwards, she tweeted that it was unprofessional, and then I think didn't Austin Aries say something else like could have been worse? He put himself like he
said a bunch of like it's nuts how people have the balls to say these crazy things about. He like dropped.
But not in front of his face, right? Like not bringing it to him, but saying it
was
to the
kind
world.
of like a witch hunt, spearheaded by your boy Peter Crave, by Mark Madden, who called for Austin Aries to get fired. By Mark Madden, that fat piece of crap.
Mark Madden.
Was he on like a podcast or something? Who
well, Mark
to his
Madden
terrible
is
podcast?
Mark Madden knows what he's talking about, guys.
Does he?
He was one of the greatest color commentators.
Oh yeah,
in
Oklahoma,
WCW
right?
history.
Oklahoma?
No, that wasn't Oklahoma. That was a different guy.
Whatever, dude.
Mark Madden was the guy who wore the Hawaiian freaking shirt that Scotty Drive had.
Yeah,
every
Mark
single
Madden
Nitro.
came up with the idea for Oklahoma.
Oh, he did.
That's what I'm saying, homeboy.
I know that like he's like boys with like Wade Keller and all that because they used to write together and all that crap. But did you know that that whole Penn State like child molestation thing that happened last year?
What's the guy's name?
Coach, Sandusky.
Yeah.
Do you know that the guy that broke that story was Mark Madden though?
What?
Did you guys know that?
Really?
Mark Madden was the one that broke that story about that.
Was he in the shower?
Well, somebody told him and he reported it and it became a true story. So
Get
Mark
out
Madden,
of here, dude. I feel like you're making this up.
No, look it up. I heard the name, and it's like, I wonder if it's the same Mark Madden. And it is, because he's out of Pittsburgh. And I guess he has a pretty popular like show, though. Or something.
He's got a radio show,
that's over in Pittsburgh. So give that for what that's worth. But anyway.
My topic I want to talk about is what's your feelings on concussions? Because in that last match that we had to the 6-man tag match. No, it wasn't a 6-man tag. It was 3 tag teams in the match for the tag team championships. One of the actual wrestlers got a concussion during the match.
Undiagnosed concussion.
Diagnosed by Portuguese Stallion as a concussion.
This
his
is
pupillage.
indie. I don't know.
Yeah,
this is last night is what this is.
Pretty much. What happened? What was the fine gentleman's name that got the concussion?
Jason Devine.
Oh, Jason
What
Devine.
happened? What was allegedly gave him the concussion?
Devin Blaze smashed his knees into his face, pretty much. Flying knee smash to the face.
No pads.
I mean, they were pads, but I mean,
speed.
yeah, he had him like tangled up in the ropes, kind of like hanging half out of the ring, and Blaze like hit the ropes and hit a double knees, and his nose was bleeding. He was all jacked up.
So
he goes into the locker room after the match, and he's like, he came down, he said something to people. He's like, hey, I think I broke my nose. He sat down, completely forgot that he said that, couldn't remember the match at all. He couldn't remember if he messed anything up in the match. He almost started crying in the locker room, like, because he was so confused. and Portuguese Stallion came over. You are okay? Your eyes are not dilating. He did something. What? Future guest, according to Scott Levesque. I'm just gonna stop showing up here. I think that's what's gonna happen. The list of guests he has in store for us. But
it's funny.
He flashed a flashlight in his eyes. He was all messed up, man. And concussion's a big deal right now.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal, I would say. I wouldn't say that was probably a concussion from what you just described. And what happened to Dolph Ziggler kind of is similar.
Right, yeah.
Because he said that he had the match, whatever. Swagger kicked him in the head. I guess it was like a harmless thing, but it was legit. Kicked him in the head. And he didn't remember anything for like the next 2 days or something. He doesn't remember getting on the plane.
Wow. That can be very scary. I can't even imagine that.
And then, of course, they were smart enough not to make him work. I don't think he's even been on TV since then.
Just the fact that you're working spots, too, while you're concussed, and you don't even recall it.
Yeah, was he in that match when that happened, or was it like he was doing the run-in? I don't remember what happened. I just know that Swagger was like the one. Yeah, he kicked him, because that was when Swagger was standing tall right before the pay-per-view, right?
So the concussion, so he got knocked totally out. He's what, heavyweight champion right now.
And I'm glad they didn't strip him of the title, though. It shows that
right.
like they're doing the right thing, but they're not punishing him because he can't work.
Right.
Because they have to take this stuff under consideration now with all the different concussions that have happened throughout the years.
And he just got like a legitimate concussion, and now Triple H is doing that deal where he's got like a...
Well, that was to make it look like... Well, we can talk about this, too, but it was to make it look like Brock Lesnar really beat the crap out of him.
No, I understand.
Which kind of...
To go to the concussion after you just legitimately had a concussion angle, it's kind of...
But I think it's going to stem with them giving them $1 million... Like, we talked about the $1 million thing that WWE donated to Chris Nowinski's foundation.
Right, they gave a lot of money for the concussion research.
So this can kind of, like, put a little, like, story to let people know about it, you know?
Yeah. So Nowinski's also the guy who did a lot of the... showed up with like the Benoit. He said Benoit had like the brain of an 88-year-old Alzheimer's patient or something.
Didn't they take his brain and study it? It was
something. Yeah. I remember
the family
that
released
whole
it, right?
Yeah.
And then they did that with a lot of football players because they're saying a lot of football players that have like that done like suicidal things. Like the guy last year that went to shoot up his. He shot his girlfriend, and he went and shot himself in front of his coach or something.
Something crazy. He apologized.
It's
to
from
him.
Getting too many
concussions.
Uh-oh. We're being raided.
Oh, Dan Strikes just kicks the door open. So, what the whole concussion thing? The football players are getting it. The wrestler, so they're doing the thing with Triple H. They donated the money to Nowinski. Like WWE is starting to put in some like legitimate effort into finding out what the deal is. They're against the chair shots to the head.
Yeah, they don't do that, and if they do, they get like some kind of fine, right?
Yeah,
I think Undertaker and Triple H. I think the Mania match had a couple chair shots.
Yeah,
and they paid like a fine or whatever, but I don't know how much they have to pay.
Yeah, is that actually true or?
That's what I heard. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not in the office, so I don't know, but that's what I heard from other sources. I think it's something you look for. I mean, Monster Mac, do you think you've had a concussion while you've wrestled?
Well, luckily, I don't think I have. I know I bashed my head really hard on a pole one time, but no England matches. I'd say my worst thing that actually happened to me was just not flipping, not rotating enough for the moonsault, landing on my neck, but nothing to the extreme point of not remembering what's going on and not recalling. Trinity number one, I know you had a bad injury where you got hit with a ring bell, and we'd say you got concussed that time.
Oh, dude, without a doubt, I got hit. Jive,
Scotty Jive.
Jive hit me with that ring bell. Shoot from behind. It wasn't supposed to just hit me with a ring bell for real.
Is this the same show he slapped the fan?
Bashed me in the head. It might have been a different show.
Oh, right.
Dude, I was definitely concussed. I don't remember anything that happened in the match, and I remember being in the locker room with everybody crowded around me. It's kind of when I came to. I was just like, wow, what is going on here? Dude, it's a terrifying thing, man. It's not anything to laugh at, you know what I mean? Dude, it seriously terrified me. I had no idea what happened in the match. I went back and watched it, and I was out on my feet, standing around, and you could see I was lost, man. It was a terrible thing. I know Levex had a few concussions too.
Yeah, I was just going to ask him because I know I've seen him smash his head off poles and crap.
All undiagnosed concussions.
Yeah, for all of us, really.
For all of us, but with me, like I had like the symptoms, like temporary amnesia. Like with Rick Fuller, I messed up a spot. He hit me with a really hard forearm because I messed up, and I don't remember the end of the match. And I just waking up, coming to, and I was just talking to Rob Hagan and his little girl, and I asked him, "Where am I? And what day is it?" It was kind of scary. And during like one of my biggest matches in PWF, I was wrestling Jason Blade, and during the Shine, he went for a dive on the outside. I went to catch him. He did a somersault out of the ring, and I caught him, but I failed to protect myself, and I didn't tuck my chin, and the back of my head hit the cement, and I don't remember anything that happened. So I guess he rolled me up. He threw me back in the ring, and I was non-responsive, so he had no choice but to end the match right there and pin me. So it was basically 2 minutes of Shine, then the match ended. And I remember like coming to in the locker room where everybody was crowded around me asking me if I was okay, and I had no recollection where I was, So that's a scary thing. And I can only imagine what Dolph's going through right now, And I guess he's going through all these WWE exams, and he's failing them, and he can't come back until he like passes them,
And you know how hard he bumps. I mean, that's his whole gimmick.
He's the best bumper in the WWE right now,
That's scary,
So what's going to happen? Is he going to forfeit eventually if he can't pass that exam?
I think eventually you have to, but I think they don't want to do that because it makes it look like bad business. Like, well, this guy's hurt, so we got to take the belt off him. And then who they can put the belt on? Because we can get into this topic in a few minutes, but they're not really. There's not a lot of people that just give the belt to people anymore.
Just like the UFC, should there be an interim world heavyweight champion? Like the UFC, like they have like interim champions if the real champion can't compete. Should the WWE implement that?
Yeah, you could do that
for now. Like have Big E as the interim.
Well, I thought that they might put him in that ladder match before they change it to the I Quit match. Yeah. That they could have done that, and then that actually gives yourself like later on down the road
a built-in angle,
a feud, right?
Yeah.
Because eventually one of them's going to probably turn on the other. That's just a given. One of them's turning on the other person eventually. Maybe Big E wins the Money in the Bank, and now he's got the briefcase, and Dolph's got to like check over his shoulder all the time whether it's going to happen or not. But
all right, let's say worst comes to worst, and Dolph Ziggler has to retire. Hopefully, it doesn't ever come to that. But who would you put the belt on? You personally,
right now. Well, who's on SmackDown right now? I mean, who's the?
The Super Show these days, my friend. Anybody can win the belt.
Del Rio is not over.
Peter, let's just say he doesn't he doesn't pass that WWE exam. He's not fit to wrestle, so they're forced to make a new world heavyweight champion, which kind of kills Dolph's push. So let's just say they do a number one. It's just for the vacant world heavyweight title, Jack Swagger versus Del Rio. Del Rio wins. Then when Dolph is fit to compete, he could come back with a fake world heavyweight title. Then they have a ladder match.
It's kind of like the Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
We
happening.
just recycle things from 15 years ago.
That's what wrestling is, right?
Screw it.
Just
Same.
I mean, I'm watching that on TNA right now because
TNA
AJ Styles
is a different
is
ball
Sting
game, my friend.
from the NWO, right? During the NWO,
Just beating everybody up one at a time.
Everybody, you don't know what side he's on.
So he's the Crow Sting.
He's the Crow Sting.
Yeah.
Only he's dirty hair and drinks or whatever the hell his problem
Right,
is.
right. Instead of wearing makeup and stuff.
And whatever.
Well, TNA is a bunch of weird stuff, man. They do a lot of they take from pop culture and try to add it into their programming. Like Aces and Eights is clearly that motorcycle show.
Sons of Anarchy. From what I hear from other people that watch that
called.
show.
Yeah, I don't watch that
probably
show.
That's what I'm
either.
talking about. It's a complete ripoff, but they don't do it all the way through. They always leave certain things out, or
they hold stuff back.
Yeah, making the Vice President D'Lo, or is it Taz? But Taz is on the commentary team.
Yeah.
1 minute, and he's a heel, right?
Yeah.
For Aces and Eights, but then he has to when there's not Aces and Eights matches going on, he's got to do commentary. He's he's so bad at commentary now.
Come on, man.
He's pretty bad. He's just
worse than when he was doing it on SmackDown with
Cole.
Cole.
Because they think that was a pretty good team. Cole and
Taz, they worked off each other
Taz
well.
Had like a reason to like,
personality.
Yeah, and he'd tell you like all the holds and stuff. He'd be more technical.
He's got him in the goozle.
And then he'd talk about Joey Numbers. That was his gimmick.
Yeah,
right?
boy, Joey Numbers.
Joey Numbers in Brooklyn that used to do this and do that.
Joey Numbers.
Now
man,
it's just like, oh yeah, I got something to tell you, and then he fights with that Kenley guy and.
Yeah, who is that dude? When did that happen?
He was on that. Remember the Hulkamania show we watched with like all the Hollywood stars?
Hulk Hogan Championship Wrestling?
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, of course. Rodzilla won?
Rodzilla won.
Yeah.
Wow, big surprise. And he was a commentator in that during that whole thing.
That guy was the commentator?
He was the main commentator.
So Hogan's like, Hogan and Bischoff are like, well, we already got him under contract, so come work for TNA for a while.
Well, that's kind of how they do it there, isn't it?
All right, Crave. What would you consider how much heat is bad heat? Because I know that you got TNA and you got Bully Ray in there. Would you say that he's causing bad heat?
Bully Ray, I think, is over as a heel. I think
Yeah.
that guy's earned his title run. I think he's been the most over heel and like hated
in TNA.
for like the last year or so.
Matt, could you inform me what you consider to be bad heat?
Like X-Pac heat, you mean? Like
What's X-Pac heat? He's a heel and he got heat, man.
yeah, but
I
this
think Monster's referring to that incident with Bully Ray where he got into it with a fan, and I think he called him.
are we
bad
talking
word.
about? Yeah, but that's different. That's
I seen Bubba Ray Dudley call a fan in the front row white trash and said her mother taught her
you
daughter
can
how to
suck
S&D.
Devon's chocolate salty balls.
Yeah,
and
you know
all
what I
things.
mean? This stuff that he's doing TNA now is
That
nothing
was
but
ECW. It was.
it's child's play. Yeah, I know it's ECW, but
I'm going to do your girlfriend. Yeah, Bully Ray. That's what the Dudley Boys are
He's-
known for.
yeah,
though.
they-
That's what you wanted to go see them do.
they
is
pushed
pick
the
on
line,
fans.
man. You know, and why is everybody so shocked that Bully Ray got a little wild with a fan? I'm not surprised by that.
Well, that seems to be a big deal now. Like, you got to watch what you say with the fans because everybody's got the damn phones with the cameras, and they can take any little thing you say, and 2 seconds later, it's on TV. Like the Punk thing. Wasn't the Punk thing when he punched the fan?
Yeah. And similar to that Bully Ray incident, like CM Punk, like there was a rowdy fan. He said something that CM Punk didn't like, and he called him that F word, you know?
Yeah.
That
yeah.
homosexual F word.
What are you talking about?
That was in
CM Punk
Australia,
also,
right?
like, slapped a fan up. I'm sure that was a little while back, but that was awesome.
Yeah.
He slapped up the wrong guy.
Yeah,
he
that
watched,
one
like, the
guy kept
footage.
hitting him, right?
Yeah,
And then
he kept
just-
shoving him, and he hit the guy that was directly behind him. And
That
it
would suck. I
it
would hate
wasn't
that.
him. I don't know, dude. I'm digging the whole Bully. I mean, right before this motorcycle gang thing, he had like the best legs in wrestling and all that. I enjoyed that. I thought that was funny.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Best
with Scott
calves in
Steiner,
wrestling
right?
or
They were, like,
something
a tag
weird.
team.
Yeah. I
don't
dug
know.
that stuff, man.
It's just the Aces and Eights is like a terrible. It just sucks. Like they're like the team. They never win, and if they do, all the matches end the same way. The DQ. They're about to lose. The guys come in and beat up everybody, or lose, or whatever else.
Well, I guess
It's
it's just
just-
they're trying to keep him strong, right? You'd assume.
Yeah, but before that, before Bully Ray joined, which still made no sense. There's a lot of like loopholes. They
There's some
sugarcoated
weird.
it.
There's some weird stuff in there.
He got hit over the head with a cement block, right? But he said it was like foam. But that was his excuse that it wasn't real.
You know, we worked you all, like kind of thing.
It didn't really make any sense. And I'm going to tell you right now, Brooke Hogan's going to turn and Sting's probably going to lose. We can just call this now. 'cause
Really, when's the pay-per-view?
It's actually in Boston, which I guess
Chad,
none of us. Chad keeps hitting me up
Chad hits up everybody to go to
about
this
this
thing.
TNA show. I don't know. Has he been watching a product? Maybe he's into something.
He is. He's into TNA right now.
Maybe he's into, Rob Terry or something. I don't know what it is. but-
Chad, if you listen to this right now, buddy, we tried to get you on. He missed another ref job. He wants to ref. He brings it up all the time. We get him a spot, and things always pop up before the show, and he can never make it. So, I mean, you can't make it to the wrestling show, Chad. We can't make it to the TNA show.
Yeah, he keeps bugging me. Like every text message, every other one is about, you going to the TNA show?
How many times are you going to say no?
I'm not going to go.
He told me personally that he just wanted that TNA experience. That's what he told me.
Did he not go with us when we went
No,
the
he
first time?
didn't. That's what he was all mad about.
I didn't go either, and I'm not mad at all.
And personally, I had the TNA experience, and it's really
Hey,
not
the best
bad.
part was we got the Tomko shirts. Right?
Yeah.
That was the thing, and the AJ Styles shirt that they still have.
I think it was the
But-
bad seating. We were
Yeah, that
off
was
to
weird.
the side.
Off to the side. The
They-
Samoa Joe match, like the MMA thing that they loved so much, I thought it sucked.
Yeah, they were trying to do an MMA gimmick at the time, and I don't know. I just remember being disappointed after the whole
lockdown
experience.
thing about like every match is in a cage.
That's what I think it was. That really, it was mainly the seating. My problem. the cameras couldn't see our Tomko sign. We wanted to let the fans know that Tomko was a buzzkill.
Yeah, he is.
No one could see it. I think that's what it was. That's what killed the buzz ultimately.
The whole every show being in a cage thing is like an old Yankee thing. They used to do that all the time. And my guess is because they didn't want to set the cage up and take it down.
Yeah,
we just set up at the beginning of the show, and every match is a cage match. Promoter style, you know what I mean? Grave, stop staring at Trish Stratus on the screen. We're trying to have a conversation.
I was watching this Hall of Fame the other day, and I thought of you.
I thought of me?
Because I don't know what it was. We used to come over and used to watch Raw with us.
Yeah.
Right? All the guys used to come before we knew Tony. I'm sure if we did know him, he would have been there too.
Right.
But there was a time, remember when she came back from like injury or something, and I popped like a freaking little girl?
You screamed like a girl. Yeah.
She's back.
Yeah, and that made you think of me? Why?
Because you were there, and
I made fun of you, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. And I don't know. She is probably the best diva female wrestler that we've ever seen.
Molly Holly.
Yeah, she was good, but this girl had like the whole thing.
Yeah.
She could get people like to feel for her by her, way she used to bump, and I just thought she always had decent matches for a diva.
Right, Trish definitely
Which
improved.
is not really,
She definitely improved a lot from the TNA stuff with Test and Albert, where she was just like rubbing herself on tables and weird shit like that.
Yeah, Finley took her and
it was like, learn how to wrestle, kid.
And then she did what she could. And
hey, man, I'm not against women's wrestling as long as it's good.
Yeah,
as long as I can watch it and be entertained. Like, I'm pro. I'm against shitty dude matches too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not.
Do you like the squash matches? Do you guys feel like squash matches could come back more?
I mean, WWE, the way they used
Jobber
to do
matches.
it, the way they used to do it, like on Superstars,
Yeah.
you'd get like a mid-card guy and he'd work a jobber and
Mhm.
job him out and he'd go home. WWE has built-in jobbers now. Zack Ryder. Anytime you see,
we gotta talk about him in a few minutes too.
Anytime you see a guy like that, though, when it comes back from a commercial and there's a guy already in the ring, like, I'm getting ready to grapple, and then another guy comes. They have like their own built-in jobbers these days, so they don't have to bring in these outside guys and all that.
Yeah, which kind of sucks though, because I don't want to see like people like Cody Rhodes being like the jobber though. Like it's almost like, oh well, we know who's gonna. Obviously, like Mike Sharp, I am Mike Sharp, and Brooklyn Brawler. We knew that those guys were gonna lose, but now it's like we see a guy that doesn't get an entrance, a ring entrance, the white man entrance, right?
The white man entrance, Rodney Mack, yeah.
And it's like Cesaro or whatever, which I don't understand that whole thing where like all of a sudden you win the U.S. Championship, and then after that,
they just
you can't beat anybody else but what's below you. You can't beat like a Randy Orton because Randy Orton's too good for the U.S. belt, so we're just gonna job you to him every single week.
The first couple matches they had were real solid though.
Oh, they would have good matches, but the guy's still losing, and
little
kids are going to think he sucks just like I used to think Tito Santana sucked when I was little.
Tito Santana did suck.
He jobbed all the time. His babyface will let you down every single time.
This is
How can you like a babyface that always let you down? And
this is a crave thing that he's had since we were kids.
At his little autograph signing last summer.
Yeah, it stole you $10.
He stole my $10 because my son didn't know any better. I said, he's no good for you.
He's no good for you. He'll do nothing but break your heart.
I like Guido better than this guy.
Well, of course, dude. That's a little Guido, son.
But yeah, that was funny. Just Tito Santana. I never liked him. I don't know.
Just constantly growing up as just never.
I just remember him, and even like the Rockers as a tag team.
Yeah.
To me, I always remember them losing, like a big match. Orient Express, job them out.
Yep.
Lose Orient Express, or they lose to what was it, Big Boss Man and Akeem.
Oh yeah.
They lost to them too.
That's I know.
I don't know. The Rockers are another one I never really got
those
behind.
influences have just been with you your whole life since you were a kid.
And it still grows to this day. If I see something like that, and it's just I can't get behind somebody that loses all the time. I know it's fake and fixed and all that crap.
Whoa, Crave. Watch your mouth around here.
Whatever you want to call it.
Watch your mouth around here, son.
But come on, this guy's a tag team champion.
Yeah.
Montanak here.
Dude, you saying,
no, we got the two bookers here that made him to make sure that he got the world championship. All right.
What they're doing with Claudio is crap, though. Like I'm real big on.
Did he do? Do you think he did something backstage, or just like a thing to see? Let's see how he reacts for a while,
right?
And then we'll push him again.
Bury him for a minute.
How he
Because that happened to Triple H, right? Back in the day, like he was getting pushed. Then that whole curtain call thing happened, and he was like jobbed out, and he had to build himself back up.
He was working with like Henry
Godwin. In the back of Triple H's mind, he's like, everybody's got to go through that now. That's how you make a star.
Do you think guys like Low-Key, if they would have stuck it out with getting the crap end of the stick at first, you think he would be a star now?
He kind of he did kind of piss me off when he quit or whatever. Because he was jobbing out. But it was only like a few months he was there after he won. Because I was surprised he even won.
What was his WWE name? Caval.
The Warrior, right? He had like a whole gimmick going on.
But they teamed him up with the two girls at first.
Yeah, was it the Bella Twins or something?
Yeah.
No, who was it?
It was Layla and Undertaker's wife.
Oh.
They had like the split belt. They had like the women's championship.
Not Sarah. That was a Diamond Dallas Page stalker feud.
Michelle McCool. Michelle McCool.
Michelle McCool.
Yeah, he got the
Lake Cool. That's what they were called.
Lake Cool. See, yeah.
All right.
Like with the whole Caval thing, he got pissed because he wasn't getting pushed, but Cool, I think that was kind of...
They were kind of over on SmackDown.
That was like to give him a rub or something, but he was like, F that, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm just going to
stick it out a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I kind of
but
didn't like that.
for you, you know?
Yeah, let's kick a guy in the head and get mad about it.
They kind of screwed Daniel Bryan at first, too, you know?
Yeah.
He stuck it out.
That was another thing, like winning the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Guy wins the Money in the Bank, then he jobs like all the time to everybody. And then all of a sudden...
He wins the belt.
He wins the belt. But then they wonder why, well, how come nobody's reacting? It's because you jobbed them out the whole time. Why can't they just have a guy that wins the thing and slowly build up until he wins?
It's called Rob Van Dam. They did it.
Rob Van Dam did it.
They smoked that weed and they got fired.
Up too. He did his Jack Swagger.
Again, we're back on the weed.
Which rumors that he's supposed to be coming back? No,
Van Dam?
Yeah.
He's a free agent right now.
You think he'd come back?
Well, I'm hoping he'll come back after August.
Why is that? For the
deal.
He's supposed to be there?
Hopefully. I mean, that'd be nice.
I know Scott Hall put that crap over the other day.
Scott Hall's the man.
He talked about it.
What did
he
say?
Very smart about... We're talking about the
clowns. The clowns.
Well, we're not allowed to call it the gathering.
Yeah, you can call it whatever you want, but I call them the clowns.
All right, the clowns. He's getting interviewed because he's kind of cleaned up. But Scott Hall's all cleaned up.
Yeah, he lost some weight and stuff.
He's living with Diamond Dallas Page and Jake the Snake. And
hey, good for them, right?
And some guy told me at work today that he's supposed to be working with X-Pac eventually in September or something. Didn't the guy just get like hip surgery or something?
Working with X-Pac in September. I feel like that's
working
a little
shows.
too...
I think so.
But
they're saying that the goal is supposed to be Jake Roberts and Scott Hall want to be in the Rumble next year. That's supposed to be like their goal.
I'm down with that. That'd be
Roberts
awesome.
is clean too. He's living with Diamond Dallas Page. Dan Strikes.
They're doing yoga. That? They're not doing drugs. Like they're living the clean, sober life, my friend.
I can see why. Do you do DDP yoga?
Occasionally.
You do?
Yeah, it's just so my neck doesn't break.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have like a very strong fear of getting dropped on my head, and the way I look at it is if I'm like really flexible, if I get dropped on my head, my neck won't break.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
What is Dan Strikes yelling about over there?
He's talking about Hayabusa. The Japanese version of Sabu.
Random. Hayabusa broke his neck a bunch of years ago. Remember that? Thanks, Dan,
that?
for the helpful topics, pal.
That's funny.
Terrifying. All right, that's what that is. That's why I don't do shooting star presses.
Yep.
That's why.
Because I can bust them out very easily with
you don't
grace.
have any injuries and hurt
yeah,
anybody
well,
else.
that is a very scary topic. And
I know. Cut off. What the hell were we just talking about before?
He wants to talk about Hayabusa and how he broke his neck, right? You know, because
I had a good thing going, and then this guy called Hayabusa
talking about Van
distracting.
Dam.
Yep.
Maybe coming back. Scott Hall. And
cleaning up.
cleaning
DDP
up,
yoga. I asked you about. Anyway, so Scott Hall, Scott Levesque try this.
What, the DDP yoga? I just brought him a DVD today.
That's
red
only
hot car for your ass.
Red hot car for 12. It's only 12 minutes long, but it kicks your ass. I'm gonna just say that right now.
Look at Crave's red hot car. Show him. Pick up the shirt. Crave.
I can't do it right now. I don't want to do that. I know I got my girlfriend doing it.
Yeah.
Legit. We do it at least like 3 times a week.
That ain't
Legit.
bad. That ain't bad.
And she's like, let's skip the little program because you got that right.
Yeah. It's like a
I know you
booklet.
signed up for it last year.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $85 for a heart monitor when I can just feel my temperature rise by doing the touchdown. Okay, ignition to touchdown. No, I don't have that DVD. I'm gonna actually buy.
Oh, I got the double diamond.
Did you get the second disc? with like the Wake Up one.
Dude, I got like 6 discs.
I only got the first one that had like the hardest one on that one is Diamond Cutter. It's like 50 minutes long. It's like the most grueling one that you can do to that point.
Yeah.
I didn't get the new DVD yet because
I didn't get any of that. I have the one from last year.
Yeah, I Double Diamond Black or whatever. Is that the one you're talking about?
Not a clue.
I just know the Red Hot Chords makes me. I'm just gonna say this right now. It gives you gas. It's gonna make you shoot farts out your rear end because grab your 2 toes and you have to like lift your legs up, and pull. And because you're doing your lower back and you're doing crunches and stuff. I'm like a loaded weapon, guy.
Dude, I don't even understand how this
happens.
happens.
Just laughs at me watching me do it.
You're just farting away while doing yoga.
She does it because she's more flexible than me, but
yeah, you're just.
I do it. It's a guaranteed. I think somebody else, TJ Richter, started doing it too, and he did a tweet about how it equals like farts or whatever.
So you felt justified.
That I'm not
you
the only
felt justified when you read
guy
that.
doing it. It was funny though.
That sounds hilarious.
It is a good thing. Diamond Dallas Page is very positive in that. There's a positive song at the end. You know the song they play? I want to get that on DVD, like on a disc and play that
You're just going to bump it? You're going to walk around bumping that song?
Yeah. What is it? Get up and do
Yeah.
It's all positive. It's all positive.
It is, dude.
I like watching the people in the background. There's that crazy guy, Arthur.
Yeah, the one that
upside down.
He was like crippled and fat.
That's what they said, yeah.
Dude, that's crazed.
Yeah, that was good. It's a good thing. I should try it out.
Definitely,
I don't do that whole 13-week thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you're supposed to. We kind of like go and think, I feel like doing the 20-minute one today. I feel like doing a 50-minute one today. If I don't do it for a couple of days, I'll do like the 50-minute one.
Yeah, I get a real good workout in.
Yeah, you do sweat though. If you do it right.
Dude, you're not going to tell me, man. Right. I know, but it's crazy.
You try it yet, Mack? You should try. We should all do it like one time. It'd be fun.
I'm down for a DDP session.
I'll do a workshop. You in, Scott Levesque? Dan Strikes you in?
What are we going to do?
I'll make you laugh again. You watch it.
We'll bring yoga mats here. We'll move the table out of the way. We'll get DDP up on the big screen. Yeah, I got some yoga mats.
Yeah, I'm going to have to buy yoga mats for that because...
Well, I have hardwood floors. That's why I have
on a
yoga
cabin
mats.
floor, I don't know if that's good for our
No,
backs.
it sucks, dude. It'll be awful. I tried it without yoga mats on my hardwood floor, and my knees were killing me.
So that's just Red Hot Core. That's all that's on that disc I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's all that's
now?
on that disc, yeah. I brought over... I have like the other 5 at my house or whatever. I just brought over Red Hot Core.
I only have one disc that has... One thing that has 2
one
discs
disc
on it. Yeah, I didn't buy the whole... How much did you pay for the whole thing?
I have not... I don't remember at all. It was last year, man.
I got a shirt, too.
Did DDP call you?
No, I think it was after...
Called me.
Because we didn't jump on
left
board.
me a voicemail.
Did he really?
Oh,
did you save it?
No, I didn't. I don't have a phone anymore.
Oh, okay. That's right.
You know that. So go ahead, man.
So, Scott Levesque wanted to talk about future stars and how we feel about, this whole middle ground thing going on with
nobody on top.
There's nobody on top.
Everybody's a mid-cutter.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, like, you take Cena out of the equation, right? He's gone. I'm saying if
we're talking about like Cena, like you're thinking like 3-4 years from now.
No, I'm saying even right now. If we just take Cena out of the equation,
yep.
Like the roster right now, Cena out of the equation, Brock part-time, Rock part-time, 2 big names, Undertaker part-time, CM Punk's gone.
Yeah, he's on like
Ziggler's got a concussion. Who's on Del Rio?
Yep, you got Del Rio.
Del Rio versus Swagger is like the big match.
You got Kane with Daniel Bryan still.
Look, dude, I find that entertaining, but it's not main event stuff.
No, but Daniel Bryan should be a babyface, but I feel like they're gonna make him turn heel and screw it up by what television did this week, because he's over. Like outside the ring, he's over inside the ring. He gets reactions from his moves. Like people can't do that anymore. They can't get invested. Like you know what I mean when I say like invested, like. They pop for like his, I guess the frenzy that he does when he gets the hot tag and he does the flying like elbow clothesline thing is over, and I think he could be like a baby face, like a Bret Hart type person, like that could get over.
So you could see him on the top.
I could see him being like champion and stuff. I could see him feuding with like Dean Ambrose in 3 or 4,
like
2 years from now or whatever. I think he's somebody, but they got to get rid of him. How come every time there's a tag team they have to break up? Why can't they just break up amicably?
Well, they did that with Cody Rhodes and Sandow.
And then they put them back together a week later.
Are they together still?
Yeah, they're like a tag team still.
Yeah,
they come out together and they
do
commentary for each other's matches and they drop to the Miz.
That's true.
The Miz.
Daniel Bryan's kick deal gets over a lot too when he does the repeated kicks. And
just
all
like
that.
his in-ring stuff is over with everybody, the kids, and everybody likes Daniel Bryan.
The whole yes/no thing, man. I can't believe that the yes and the no is what it took to get Daniel Bryan over the
and
NXT,
the crazy beard,
the NXT star hump. You know what I mean? Like they don't look at him as, oh, that was the guy that won that shitty TV show that we had for a while.
But in a way, I guess it gave like him more personality, and he's gotten a lot of miles out of this stuff. Even with Kane or whatever. Kane's always tagged with somebody weird too, right? He had the X-Pac. They've done that. They know that dynamic can work. It's kind of, Rock and Foley, they did it with. They did Booker T and Goldust. They always have that odd couple tag team that kind of works. I mean, they just lost the belts. They had the belts for like 600 days or 200 days or some crap like that. No, 600 days. That's a lot. That's a few years there, isn't it?
How long do you see Kane sticking around for?
Well, there was like this big rumor that he was going to run for like senator or some crap like that.
Really?
That's true. Yeah, Kane is like, when he's not Kane,
Yeah.
he's like really into government and really into politics.
I did
Like
not know
Val
that.
Venus. I guess he's like that too.
I thought Val Venus was a porn star outside of wrestling. That's not true?
No.
Have I been lied to again?
He
First
is-
Yokozuna, now Val Venus. My childhood
What,
is ruined.
Yokozuna's not Japanese?
I know, man. It broke my heart when I realized that.
It makes you feel stupid too, right?
Like I
When
was a
you're growing
dumb
up.
little kid. That's how I felt.
Well, at least we know that Tito Santana was a Mexican. He could swim back over the Rio Grande where he came from.
That's a little racist. Who said that in a promo?
That was Jesse Ventura.
I'm like a
Story,
Vegematic,
bro.
baby. I'm out there slicing and
That
dicing.
was- No, that was his tag partner. There.
That's right.
I'm like a Vegematic out there, slice and dice.
What about you, Levesque? What do you think of some future stars? Or how do you feel about the division of stars going on right now?
Going back to Daniel Bryan, I think when he gets the hot tag during his matches, his offensive flurry, once he makes that hot tag, he is so over. He has the crowd. So eventually I see like a program between maybe him and Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
You know? Hopefully like they won't make him the heel once him and Kane break up, you know?
Yeah, but
That's
it
my
seems
fear.
like where they're leaning towards, right?
Yeah.
Because he beat Swagger clean on Friday, right? Like, he wouldn't let go of the hold and stuff. Because he's sick of being like the weak link and saying like the guy's no good, because we all know he is. I can see him having great matches with Dolph Ziggler too, like for the championship, the world championship, if they really wanted to. But that's all up to, who can they put over? I mean, Del Rio's not over. He's better as a heel, and he's gotten stale. There's like really nothing to him without his cars. What is he?
Sometimes it seems like his manager's more over than he is.
That's true. If there was no Ricardo Rodriguez, he probably wouldn't be as high on the card as he is. But that can only get you over so far. And you got like these I think another thing they don't do as much anymore is like the vignettes, like when they're building up to a guy that's gonna come out.
I mean, they did it with Del Rio
They
before
did.
he debuted. But I think that was the last. Yeah,
Del Rio. Well, they did. Sin Cara had a little one too.
Fandang Joe.
Yeah, I guess so. But then they dropped it for a little while, and then they brought it back, and then all of a sudden he was on TV.
Yeah.
And then the whole Van Dago thing happened, where everybody like sang it or whatever on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
The crazy one where they
After
totally
Mania.
booed the Randy Orton and Sheamus match because they voted.
Yeah.
The fans voted, and they obviously knew it. They rigged it.
Because they didn't want to see that.
They didn't want to see something, right? Wasn't that what happened?
Something weird like that. Those fans were just not into that match. I know that.
No. They were chanting everything but what was going on. Mike Chioda.
I mean, and
This is awesome. We're awesome. Whatever the hell it was.
while the mid card right now might not be as strong as they want it to be, the developmental they have right now is real, like filled with guys who have a lot of talent and potential to like make it. Like Sami Callihan just got signed.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
El Generico, what's his name
Sami
now?
Zayn.
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn, and he just had his debut NXT match, and I heard it was really good. He's with
against
Cesaro.
They actually
He had two
twice.
matches in a row.
Yeah.
Actually, he won his first two matches. They're saying that's like a big deal.
This guy Pac from England, he's signed there.
Yeah, he's the Neville guy, right? Aaron
Yeah.
Neville, Adrian Neville.
Something like that.
We still don't know what they're gonna do with Cassius Ohno.
Yeah,
He's over, right?
Chris Hero, yeah.
Chris Hero, yep.
I mean, I for a while there, I thought they were going to bring him up with Claudio.
Yep. You got Vader's son in there. There's a lot of guys down there that you don't know.
And Husky Harris.
Oh, yeah, he's going to... I can see him with Swagger's manager there eventually too.
With
Like I can see
Zeb.
like Zeb, because if Swagger keeps losing,
Yeah,
Zeb's
yeah.
gonna dump him
With Bray Wyatt, he's got
because he
like,
can talk. Yeah,
he
he
can
can talk,
so.
and he has that little. He's gonna have that sick family with him,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what the.
But
They're like
he's so good in
psychopaths.
NXT. But I think once he gets called up, man, they're gonna ruin him.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like they did with
I liked
so many
Husky
other
Harris
guys.
though when he was getting
Yeah.
the push in NXT. I thought he was
He's
pretty
got
good.
a very unique look. You know.
Yeah, which they sometimes don't like. They.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this guy? He's fat. Look at this guy.
Yeah, he also had an excellent Sinton.
Where I stole it from.
Fantastic. That's where Training Number One took it from. He didn't take it from me.
The back bump.
Husky
there?
Harris taught him that
Yeah.
one.
Well,
Yeah,
now you have
it
Sweet
was
Tea
pretty
does it
damn
too, doesn't
good. Yeah,
Well, Sweet Tea doesn't do it as Sweet Tea. I do it way better than Sweet Tea does. All right, Grave.
I haven't seen some of your matches in a while, so
Yeah,
I'll have to watch them.
MonsterMac.net, you son of a gun.
MonsterMac.net, you need to put up more matches. I want to see more matches. I'm going to start complaining, I think.
Wait, who are you going to complain to? You going to
Did you
call
guys-
me?
First of all, did you guys do a Hoods one podcast?
We did a Davey Cash one.
Oh, have you?
It's
put
sitting
that
here
up?
on my laptop. You want to listen to it after this?
Well, I don't know. I'm waiting for it. And
Pyro is still
okay.
pending.
All right.
He no-showed that first night. I gave him a bunch of crap about it.
so yeah, the young division, the up and comers, you guys feel like it's
Dude,
going to be good.
I feel like we NXT and the new guy. What about Joe Hennick? They just brought him up again.
Let's go talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about what is it? Curtis Axel. right?
Curtis Axel. Why can't they just call him Joe Hennick? Like, what is the goddamn issue?
If they're gonna change his name anyway from McGillicuddy to something else, why give him another fake name? Why not just call him his real name? If they're gonna proclaim him as like a third generation anyway, use his goddamn real name.
Well, at least they kind of made a excuse out of it,
they're
right?
open to the fact, like, his dad's Mr. Perfect, his granddad's Larry the X. Like, you know, who could it be? His last name? What is it?
Axel.
Axel, yeah.
Curtis Axel,
Wasn't there?
which was
isn't there
Kurt
an
Axel. Then it sounded too much like Kurt Angle. In that whole show, they called him Kurt for a while. Then they went to Curtis. His Titantron
Said
changed
Kurt,
twice.
Yeah, yep.
It was Kurt, and then it was Curtis
I
at the
noticed
end.
that too, dude.
And he got
Wasn't
such
isn't there a
great,
guy in
great
NXT?
debut.
Isn't there a guy in NXT that has the last name Axel? Max Bauer is what Axel? Axel Keegan. So
That's Axel Keegan is Max Bauer. I didn't know that. Oh wow, I will have to do my.
yeah, you gotta do some research there,
Independent
Crave.
stuff
What's
there.
wrong with you?
Well, I guess I gotta.
So you said you had a great debut.
No, I was being very sarcastic when I
Obviously,
say this.
obviously.
Well, here we go. Let's talk. I'm going to talk about something that's been bothering me for a few years. It has something to do with what I saw on Monday.
Okay.
So we have the big reveal. Paul Heyman, great, put him with somebody. I understand why they do it, but it could have been anybody. It could have been anybody. I'm glad it wasn't RVD or whatever the hell. And they're gonna
You're
get
glad
it
it wasn't RVD?
I'm glad it wasn't RVD.
Why?
Do you think he fit in with CM Punk and like he's not as feared and as like a Brock Lesnar
Van
or
Damme
CM
cannot.
Punk?
Van Damme's promos are all like, "Yeah, man, I'm Van Damme."
Yeah, and I've seen some of his work in TNA, and it's not that great. He's kind of like
Whoa, what
he's
does that
not as
mean?
good anymore. I know. I don't have a wrestling training book with his with his face
Oh,
on it,
hey
RVD's
now,
face
hey
on it.
now.
But
Shooting.
but you know, I think he's not aged well.
He's not the Van Damme
he
of
doesn't,
yesteryear.
He doesn't change with the times. He hasn't really
Well, because that's why
morphed a little bit.
he doesn't have to change with the times because he was so ahead of the time.
Yeah, he's like Yarmir Yager out there, freaking 41 years old, and he doesn't get his fat ass off the ice. You know what I mean? We need the young guys out there.
Dude, I don't know what you just said to me.
Sorry, but it's a hockey reference.
Oh,
It's an
yeah,
old
thanks,
guy
yeah.
that doesn't want to give it up. That's taking all the ice time from the younger guys. That's all.
Why don't you just say Hogan?
No, well, that's a different story that he wanted to talk about. But
So yeah, what did you feel? Stop looking at Booker T's entrance. You're making dead air on the podcast. You're throwing your hands in the air and you're doing Harlem
That's it.
Heat dances.
Stevie Ray, they just reconciled. They weren't talking for a long time.
I didn't know that.
Good story.
That's true story. So Heyman says, "I got a new guy coming out."
He introduces him.
Yep.
Right, he comes out, no reaction because
Everybody's like, "Hey, it's Michael McGillicuddy."
Michael McGillicuddy. He didn't change his look too much. I think his beard was a little thicker or whatever.
He has a
but
thicker beard.
look at me, whatever he said during this entrance. Comes down, and here he comes. Here he comes, Triple H.
He wrestled Triple H?
No, well, he did later. But let's just say what this is what I was thinking about. Triple H comes down, talks about how he's gonna pedigree beat the shit out of Heyman. Yep. How Brock Lesnar's not there, and then they have Curtis Axel trying to interrupt, and he called him a little boy, right? A little man, a little girl, or whatever it was, because Triple H likes to immaculate people on TV, like Cena does,
just like,
not take anybody serious.
Like he kicked Wade Barrett in the crotch for no apparent reason, just because he can.
Yeah.
Like a month ago.
He's a nice guy.
Last Monday,
he refuses doctor orders. He's going to fire a medical physician that tells him that you cannot wrestle because there's something wrong with your head. And he refuses to. That's a great babyface to be behind, too. A guy that, is going to fire the doctor that tells you that don't go out there because you might die. You know what I mean? There's something wrong with you. And then he interrupts the promo. And what does Triple H do? Mac, do you know what he did?
I'm guessing pedigree?
He bitch slaps Curtis Axel and he takes a ass bump.
Oh,
Welcome to the club, right? And then, then you think, he's going to get his comeuppance in the main event because then they book a match. And I'm assuming, that he's probably going to win. Even though then again, you think about it's Triple H. What's going to happen, right? So they have the match. I think he got a drop kick in. About that. Triple H does the whole setup. He does a spine buster, and all of a sudden he goes outside and asks for a drink of water.
Really?
Right? And he starts acting goofy and fuzzy, and this is the whole concussion angle that Trainee was talking about earlier.
Oh, I see. During his match.
But there's Henning, Axel just staring there, watching him. Curtis Axel.
Yeah.
Okay. Take a drink, sits down with the physician, and then basically he passes out. Raw ends that way. So he doesn't get no rub from it. If that was me booking, I probably would have had that guy hit it, punching him, give him a reason why he had the concussion, even more than he probably already had before because he didn't listen, right? And he just doesn't. Triple H never gives anybody the rub, and this is what bothers me about him.
He got a drop kick in.
Oh wow, that's like Taka Michinoku had a great 5-star match with him once too,
but in Triple H's warped mind, just the fact that he was having a Raw main event with Triple H, and he has Paul Heyman. That's enough of a rub to get him over.
Or at least after, he passes out, couldn't he have come out and instead of hitting him while he was down?
But then the fans won't think it's a shoot.
A real, right?
They'll think it's a work.
Oh, yeah, because we just had that last year with Jerry Lawler having a freaking heart attack on TV. And then we're going to give him freaking Sonic to eat in front of people and have shakes, right? Because that makes sense.
Poor guy just had a heart attack, and they're sticking Sonic shakes in his face.
Sonic, he was eating KFC a few weeks ago.
Serves him right for pouring that alcohol in Jake the Snake's face years ago.
Well, he was right then.
Karma, it comes back to you.
It's terrible. Awful.
Yes, it is, Craig.
Anyway, so that's my thing.
So you think it's just the same old Triple H?
When's the last time Triple H put somebody over? That was my question to you guys.
Brock Lesnar, right?
That doesn't count because Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker are already in his league, so that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a guy that because he had a match with Triple H, got some kind of rub from him. And I've been thinking about this, and I think the only person I could think of was Batista.
Yeah, and that was
I think the last time somebody
that was a while ago.
Beat him. And he was about to get sledgehammered in the face and almost lost that match.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it was the last guy he actually put over, legitimately.
Yeah.
Not how Mick Foley did for Triple H all those years ago. Just being in the match with somebody, getting a rub. Chris Jericho does it all the time.
Yeah,
he
Jericho,
has matches. He loses
arrives,
to anybody
he puts
and everybody.
Over.
He has good matches. He's the biggest babyface they have right now, other than Daniel Bryan.
And he's part-time too.
And he's part-time.
I do feel like WWF is making the
There's
same
no baby
mistakes.
faces. That's the biggest problem right now. Is
making the same mistakes WCW made back in the day. They're not creating
everybody
any
that
new stars.
debuts a new guy is always a heel. It seems always a heel.
Yeah.
Kofi Kingston maybe have been the last guy that was debuted as a babyface, and look what they do with him. Oh yeah. What happened
Dallas,
to that?
Where'd he go?
What happened to his title match with Wade Barrett that he should have got because he beat him on Raw?
Never happened.
No, because they changed their mind. Oh, is that the real happen? Is that what happened?
Levesque says they didn't shake hands in the back. I don't.
He was there. He might have saw it. I don't know.
I don't know, man. The whole. I feel like they're not making any stars. Like 97.
They want to make the stars that they want to make the stars.
Right. They're not letting it.
They're not going to let the fans, especially the IWC, make all the
internet wrestling community. Yeah.
Make the decisions for them. Because that's what they do. Like, all right, they get
why would you
Generico,
want to cater
right?
to your fans? And you know what I mean? Like, that's such a terrible idea to give your fans what they want. Wow, how awful.
Yeah, it's not what they want. They want to push the guys they want to push.
Are you saying about Generico?
I was saying about Generico. Let's just take his mask off and not.
Look, I don't care about that. I don't care about them taking
Let's
his
see how
mask
he
off.
is. I don't know. I didn't see any of his matches yet.
Have you ever seen any of his matches ever?
I've seen Generico. I think I've been to a Ring of Honor show with him on the card. He was like the lucha with like just black, right?
Yeah, it was black with like a flop deal.
Yeah. I've seen him wrestle. Like Matt Hardy, I think he was on that show with Matt Hardy that was there.
Yeah, I think
That
we
was,
had
like, the
we
only
had
time I
already
think I saw
stopped
him.
going to ROH shows by
It
that
wasn't
time.
a regular thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The last time I went to a ROH show was like when Seth Rollins left. It was like right before he left. It was
You
like
pointed at me like I
Plymouth.
have any idea when.
No, and
like
then I was on
there.
TV because of it. Because they did that.
Oh
that
yeah,
true
the True Life.
TV, and people are telling me, "Hey, I watched on TV and I saw you on TV last night."
It was the
And I
world's
thought it was
craziest
the Monster
fights
Mac
or
show.
something.
I thought they were watching the Monster Mac show. It's like, oh yeah, we do that. And was it in Fall River? No, guy, it was just in Swansea or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we're on there yet. He's like, no, you were on the thing and you're walking in, and it was just me like walking in, and I had an MMA shirt on, and I'm all excited because it's my first wrestling show I've gone to in a while.
Yeah. Now, did a fan got to a fight that show? Or something crazy?
That was
That was Gunnar
Paul
Rowe.
Body's friend. No, it wasn't Gunnar Rowe. It was the same guy that's a Russian now.
Michael Sane.
Michael Sane, that's who
Okay.
it was. But you're talking about during the skit though. The reason why it was on being filmed,
Right.
had something to do with the butcher, Necro
Butcher,
Butcher bleeding,
yeah.
and he rubbed blood on this guy's shirt on the outside, and then they had like a real life fight afterwards.
Yeah, that
they
was
waited
Gunnar
for.
Rowe.
Is that Gunnar Rowe? So it was
Yes.
fake then. It was
Yes,
it was
yes.
a work, and they've had other ones too. With other, I think Austin Aries was on that too. And he got to a fight with somebody. Same thing. He challenged a guy waited for him outside, and he beat the crap out of him in the parking lot.
And it was on True TV.
And it was on True TV. I forget the name of the show, but I was on it, and it was just me walking in. It's like 2 seconds long, but
Like,
it was
hey,
enough for other
it's
people
me,
to
Peter
notice.
Grave. Like,
Yeah,
who notices you? Like, they're flipping through the channels. And
Isn't that weird?
Oh,
Yeah,
hey.
that's weird, right?
I work with that guy.
That was my 5 seconds of fame.
You got it, dude.
That's it.
I seen Trevor on a heavy metal show. Same thing happened to him.
Oh, is this after
Walking
he's
in
been
with his
missing?
ticket.
No. This is years ago.
Yeah, years ago, walking in with his ticket, big smile on his face, cut off sleeves,
was kinda
looking
like
all
me.
metal,
It was kind of like
of
me.
course. Yeah, just like you. But yeah, the Monster Mac show, you are on that, so
That's what I thought it was.
the people
I
can
really
see you
did.
every
I thought-
week.
I know. I put it over at my work all the time.
Yeah, I've been on more TV shows than I've been. Damn.
You gotta really stretch it out there, man.
I got that one.
Step it up.
Is there anything else? Did you guys have any other topics that you want to discuss? So I know.
You got anything else in there? You got in the ball of tricks? Ooh.
Do you think wrestlers on WWE and TNA having a Twitter account takes away the mystique of wrestling?
I think the only person that should not have a Twitter, I think it's mentioned on the Hall of Fame. No. Kurt Angle? Oh, well, Kurt Angle has the fits at midnight, right? And then
dude, he gets hacked.
Yeah,
he gets hacked.
Shit, he gets hacked. He gets hacked on
Maybe
booze
the
and
first
prescription
time.
pills is what he gets hacked on. That's what you want to call
Hey,
it.
he's
I
been
call it getting
clean, okay?
smashed.
He's
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
clean
He's
worker.
Clean living individual.
He's fighting for the amateur wrestling and trying to bring it from not getting
Dude,
taken out of the
if
Olympics.
Bills and poo, if Bills
Pills and poop.
if pills and booze are your deal, man, that's your deal. I'm not here to. But don't go on Twitter and shit all over everybody, and then the next day be like, "Ugh, my Twitter keeps. I gotta really change this password. I keep forgetting to change it. Whoever just keeps hacking it over and over again, and it just keeps trash talking all these
Karen.
people
It's
I
Karen
know.
Jarrett.
Yeah, Karen Jarrett.
Yeah.
So, what do you say about the Twitter thing?
Well, Scott Levette brought up. How do we feel about certain people having them?
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like they should, if it's Daniel Bryan, that you want him to be Daniel Bryan on TV or Daniel Bryan like the real person? Is that what you're saying? Like, you want them to be themselves?
Or are they trying to give you a look?
Or do you want
both?
them,
Are they trying to give you an inside look of what the life is like of a wrestler, normal life? You know
what do you
I mean?
find more interesting? I guess.
I just think like wrestlers today like are too accessible. You know, like they should be these larger than life like characters. And back in the day, you didn't have Twitter. You know.
Well, yeah.
We didn't have computers.
We didn't have computers. We didn't have an internet. I mean, we used to. How do we get tapes? How do we watch like Japanese wrestling? We couldn't go on Google, YouTube, and do it.
RF video.
RF video in the middle
the back
of,
of wrestling magazines that would have the little like cutouts. Order your wrestling tape here, and you would send money, and they would mail you Japanese wrestling on VHS.
It does kind of water down things, I think. Yeah, I think you're right with that.
The fact that they constantly on that Twitter stuff just over and over again.
It's
like
not the Twitter thing.
the trending and
it's that stupid app they talk about.
Oh my god,
and
the
I don't
app
know if
thing
you guys
is getting ridiculous.
tried the app thing.
No,
But
Grandrew
it
has
always
it.
freezes. There's always crap going on with it. It doesn't work. And all they do is talk about it. Instead of talking about what's going on, like in the ring,
Right.
putting people over, they're talking about jokes and stupid things and not taking anything serious.
Right.
Undertaker shouldn't have a Twitter, ever. I
No,
think
that
would kill it
goes
right
without
there.
Saying, yeah.
I think Kane just got one, right? Last year or something?
What?
That's
Kane
kind of
has a
ridiculous.
Twitter? Yeah, that's a little silly.
But some of the other guys, that's the way they like want to communicate with people. And like, I mean, I've seen like Cody Rhodes. Sometimes he back in the day would show like a little video of himself at the house and doing something ridiculous. I find that kind of like interesting.
Funny.
But
CM Punk's he's always like saying ridiculous stuff, and he's always
Trolling
retweeting people that like talk trash to him. And it's all these like, I hope you burn in hell, you atheist jerk, and like crazy stuff like that. He's always retweeting that nonsense and then just trash talking people. It's pretty funny. I enjoy CM Punk's Twitter. I mean, WWE is pushing the whole social media thing so hard, and do they own something? Tout? Do they own part of Tout or something?
well, they did, right? But they don't really talk about that much because it's creepers.
Huh?
Creepers, like creepy people you would not
Oh,
want.
creepers. I thought you were
Creepers,
saying like
not the creeper.
Brandon Webb owns Tout or something.
Not the
I had no idea what
creeper.
the hell you were talking about.
The creeps. I don't know if you've seen some of those videos that they show.
So you're saying
But it's like
creepy
a guy
people
with his
Tout?
Guy like in the background in the dark room, like
Nah,
there was
I think
one
Kane
about like
should
if you
win,
go on
man.
like look up like Layla and
Yeah.
watch the tout videos that she gets from the creepers.
Oh,
those
those
are funny.
and I'm sure those are very entertaining.
You know, they'd be like, "Hey, I saw you. I liked your hair, and I really love you, and I hope we can get together sometime."
I'm gonna film this right now
I
and
really
tout it
love
to Layla if you say it.
I really love it. I don't have a tout.
No, I'm gonna tout it. A video of you is what I'm saying.
Oh, good.
Very good.
Hey,
Hey, Layla,
let's
how
pick
are
somebody
you?
ridiculous. We'll just
Yes, and
tout
random.
somebody. Pick somebody you don't like, Scott Levesque, and we'll tout him.
So great.
Be all creepy about it.
Have you watched any of the recent ROH product?
I've never seen any of the TV show.
Nothing.
Nope. I don't. I think it's kind of like died, guy, to me. It's not like it was.
Again with the Twitter. The world champion for ROH. Jay Briscoe?
This
Mike Briscoe?
Jay Driller. He did the
Okay,
Jay Driller, right?
Again, his personal feelings about a certain subject. Big backlash.
Don't tell my kids what to do. I'll shoot you.
Big
right?
apology. I mean, again, Twitter. You know,
And he had to,
these
like, he
workers
donated
like,
money
with their
or
own
something.
opinions, spewing off there. That's why I think wrestlers shouldn't have Twitters. You know what I'm saying? It takes away the mystique. Then when they spout certain things, then there's a big backlash. You know.
There's certain things though that you shouldn't say though. I mean, that's one.
That's
of the
just
things.
as being a person, but I don't.
He's from what? West Virginia.
Yeah, dude.
Where is it? Delaware, right?
He's right now
Maryland.
Maryland.
But I guess that part where he's from is kind of like
Hickish.
Midwest, right? They have that same philosophy, so I could see like, but you don't say that stuff.
I don't want no of them gays getting married.
Yeah, that's thinking what it was said, right?
Like that's crazy, man.
And
like,
he said
who
he would
wants-
kill them with a gun after like everything that's been going on and shoot somebody.
Honestly, at this point in life, I can't see how any wrestler, any human can give a damn what another person wants to marry. Like that's just crazy talk to me. I don't care. Like,
Hey, if you want to get married and then get a divorce and have to pay all that money too to do that,
rock on, go for it.
Anybody can do it.
But I also support the right for Jay Briscoe to talk as much crap about that as he wants to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, but still, in that because they're owned by a different company,
Right.
Some channel owns them, right? Sinclair Broadcasting owns them. they're gonna. You have to watch what you say, and you're the champion. You're supposed to be like the example.
The role model for the promotion.
You know.
So Ring of Honor hates.
Honestly, I don't know if I give
is against
Jay
gay
Briscoe
marriage.
the championship myself if I was booking, but that's just my.
Hey man, the Briscoes are pretty dope.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I remember their little match they had back in the day. And they're building up. You're already shooting their load already, and let's just do it right away at the best of the world.
Well, are they doing it
Yay.
again, or are you saying back in the day?
No, back in the day it happened, but now
Yeah,
they're doing it again for the title.
Just for no reason?
No reason.
No build up, nothing?
Nope. He lost, right, in the TV title match and got angry, and now he got a title shot.
Well, I mean, if your brother wanted a title shot against you, you'd give it to him right away. It's your brother.
No, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
He always got pushed higher than I did. I always had to wrestle the Monster Max and
and
the copper, but those American boys.
G.I. Joes. The G.I. Joes.
The G.I. Joes. Watch that match, Dan Strikes. You want to laugh at that one? No psychology whatsoever, okay?
That shocks you?
And that was me in the match. It was terrible.
No, I'm sure.
It was.
So, Crave, we've had you on. This is podcast number 2.
Yeah.
The first time we talked like a lot of old wrestling stories and stuff.
Yep.
We talked about having you on again.
Mhm.
We tried to do it before Mania. Then we tried doing it again after Mania.
No.
Now it's after Mania.
Yeah.
Do you have any like funny memories, stories we didn't get to talk about last time that you wanted to bring up?
Well, it's
or-
funny because I've been listening to the podcast.
Oh, this is something I completely spaced it out the last time we talked. I brought up the fact that we did the whole ring thing to one of the Becky, one of the Dave Oliveira, like
the ring, like you guys
when
built
we
it
found
in
the ring
mills.
and built it up and stuff. She told me that right after that happened, that Dave, her, Strider, a bunch of people all hid in the mill multiple nights for hours at a time, waiting to see if somebody was going to re-show up and set the ring back up again.
They did.
I thought that was hilarious.
And you guys never went back down there again, huh?
Days doing this?
Multiple days over that weekend. They were there every day, hours at a time, waiting to see if somebody was going to show up to set the ring up
And
so
then-
they could catch him.
But you guys
No.
were upstairs the whole time.
No, let's say we
And they
did-
never saw you guys go. Like, obviously, if no offense, but if I
That's
see that you guys have an
hilarious.
office there, I probably would think it was us, right?
No,
And they just never saw you guys.
Nobody
There was that
knew.
weird. Right, we had to go in
that
by
was a
that.
big mill, man, and we were on like a different side from where the ring was, and nobody knew we had our own office space. We kept that on the kayfabe.
Yeah, it was only a few of us. that
I
did
remember for a little while we tried getting an office space in the same mill that Dave was running the shows. He had the paintball field, remember? For a little while, he was
that. Yeah,
running
we
the shows
did
in
like
the
a. I
paintball
don't know if
field.
we did a show. We just trained there. We
Yeah,
had like
we were-
crazy match.
We were thinking
Yeah.
about running a mill there before, but if you guys didn't know what happened, in our office space, we found a random wrestling ring, which happened to be Dave Oliveira's. We set it up, wrestled in it, left a note blaming it on somebody else. But that is hilarious. Now, what if we would have decided to, hey, let's go wrestle? Go downstairs, set up Dave's ring again. Dave's hiding in the shadows. Like, what's the worst that could happen there?
They pop out like, "Aha! We caught you, Max. What are you gonna do?
Don't set that ring up.
Don't you set that ring up?" So
Crazy
I
stories.
cut you off. Yeah, you had something.
Did
you
it happen
started
to the
saying it.
ACW story?
No,
I'm
it
just
could be
saying that
anything.
I've been listening to the podcast and then like Scott Levesque's, and I thought it was funny as hell. Like, what was your first Jabba guy
Hey, Dan.
when you first had?
Shut up. We're doing a podcast.
I'm gonna ask him too because I bet you,
What was that? Go in the other damn room.
Japanese stuff in there.
Wait, what you were saying, dude?
Kenta Kobashi because he retired. That's what you were talking about. You should have brought that up.
Yeah,
but
why
you
didn't you talk about it in the podcast?
Why didn't you?
Looking
John
at you,
Pollock
Vivek.
already talked about it, right? We can't take his crap. That's a plug. Sorry.
Yeah.
He's so funny. He did. I didn't listen to it because I would have been bored. I don't know. I don't like W.H. Park and stuff. It bores me. I don't listen to it. I'd rather listen to Casey tell me about it than
what are we saying?
Chris Charlton.
Chris Charlton.
He lives in Japan, right? What a life. I wish.
I'm assuming you guys talking about a specific wrestling podcast.
Yeah, a bunch of. I think Scott Levesque and I listen to almost the same ones because he'll ask me and he'll give me like ones he listens to.
I listen. I've just got into the Stone Cold one. The Steve
I haven't
Austin.
started that one yet.
Yeah, I know, dude. You just told me yesterday. I gotta download it.
Versus
I gotta
the Fly.
get Stone Cold versus the Fly.
Hilarious. Is it funny?
The Conan one. The Conan one is good
I've
too.
listened to his like every now and then, but I'm not every week.
Yeah,
listen.
yeah.
Is
I
it
don't listen
every
every
week?
week either. MLW.
MLW. What were we talking about? Oh, I was gonna say when you were a little young kid and you were doing like the backyard or whatever with your family. What was the wrestling name you had?
Tony Snow
Tony
or Tony
Snow?
Lorama?
Tony Snow
Yeah.
and Big Tiger Larama.
Is that like a mask guy?
No. Eventually, I was a mask guy, but originally it was just me. Tiger Larama was my last name backwards.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. You always have like reasons for everything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's very particular.
It's like, you know what? I really enjoy Raven. I
But-
really enjoy Triple H. Let
And
me
I
just
just-
slap those two together and let's call it a day.
It's a lot better than Dan Strikes.
How about Dan Strikes? Did Dan Strikes have a?
Well, Dan, his first name's Dan, and he really likes
Has
lightning.
it always been Dan Strikes like your whole life?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
even
he's
when you were a little kid,
Well, it's not his last name.
when you first started wrestling. Well, for Yankee, I'm talking about like we're talking about like what like.
He didn't do
Tony
any of that
Snow?
backyard stuff.
Oh, you didn't? You never did any of that?
I went to Real Deal once. I saw Natalia there.
He saw Natalia. He's talking to. We recorded a podcast
Emerald,
earlier
right?
with
Emerald.
Dan
Okay.
Strikes that we lost the computer crash and all that. But I'll tell you right now, all Dan talked about was woman wrestlers' breasts. 4 or 5 times that came up. No joke.
That's all you care
And
about. Huh?
don't you goddamn lie to me, Dan Strikes.
Anyway, I was gonna say like, I had like a gimmick too when I was young, and had the backyard thing going.
Yep.
Mine was obviously Peter Crave. I derived that from Pedro Cheese.
Now, what in your head? thought
Pedro
cheese?
Queso. Pedro Queso.
It
Gets
was-
cheese in Spanish for you people that
Yeah.
don't know Spanish. I don't know. It's just like we would just my brother and I would have jobber names, like the guys that would just job out to like whoever we thought were like the
The main eventers.
main eventers.
You
And,
guys
like,
headlined the backyard.
Oh yeah, headlines, many matches. And my brother's was Robert Ponce.
Robert Ponce.
Robert Ponce became Scotty Jive eventually.
Yeah.
And we we just jobbed out for a while, and like even when I did backyard, TCW, Teenage Championship Wrestling,
Yeah.
where I had legit.
What else
contract.
could TCW
I'm just going to take
stand for?
this opportunity right now. I signed Dave Oliveira to his first wrestling contract.
Yeah.
It's my fault that this is all started.
That Dave has anything to do with wrestling these days. It's all you, homie.
Oh yeah, him, Mack Echo,
Those guys,
The other
he's
guy,
gone.
the
Bullsworth.
one that looks depressed in the streets.
I don't know who
Face
that
paint.
is.
I can't say his name.
I don't
Dave
know.
Oliveira's
so
cousin there. You know.
I don't.
Okay.
I have no clue what you're talking about. So I'm just gonna.
It doesn't matter anyway. I signed. Well, like when I did TCW, like I was pretty legit. Like I had like contracts.
Yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
I did everything but say, "Oh, we're gonna stop booking these things and working the matches." 'Cause
Yeah.
we didn't have work matches then. It was like you won by because I give you a suplex and you knock the wind out of you long
Yeah,
enough to
you're
do a 3
done.
count.
My
you know?
my back.
But a funny story is backyard. Can we talk about backyard in here? Or we just like,
Dude, you can talk about
downplay
anything you
the
want,
crap?
man.
All right. So I was tag teaming. This is good.
Hey now,
No, not with women. No.
with dudes.
Obviously with dudes, guys, right? I don't want to hear it, Dan,
Dan
Strikes.
Strike
You
went on-
oil up your body for
Dan
other men
Strikes
to look at you in tights,
Went on
okay?
a packy run and didn't bring us any beers. That's nice of him.
No beers.
He brought beer for
no
himself.
chew. He doesn't share any of it except for what's in that cup right there. Anyway, I was tag teaming with Stone Cold. Because in TCW, we would just take nicknames of the other guys and then reenact them in our own little lives.
Yeah.
So I was like the Crippler, right?
Yeah.
The Chris Benoit like guy. I make this fake freaking like French accent that totally sucked. I thought it was like the greatest thing.
I am the crippler.
And we had like the 4 horsemen, but we didn't. It was myself, my brother, who was just the Nature Boy,
Just the Nature
just
Boy.
the Nature Boy.
Not Buddy
Dave
Rogers,
Oliveira's
not Ric
match-
Flair.
Dave Oliveira's wrestling gimmick was Psycho.
SYCHO 25.
It's still his name. Somehow he still has it somewhere in internet world, right?
Yeah, yep.
And Mac Echoes was Stone Cold, who was just like a Stone Cold type Steve Austin guy. But like, it kind of didn't make any sense if he was with us, right?
Yeah.
So then we're like, I'm gonna turn on this guy,
Yeah.
right? And it's gonna be great. We're gonna get the whole Horseman thing going on, and we're just gonna wreak havoc in the TCW.
Yeah, okay.
And and Chad's brother Jameson at the time was Double A, Andy Armstrong.
Double A.
Andy Armstrong.
Andy Armstrong.
We feuded with the likes of, you don't know who Kyle Blackburn is, but he was known as Dangerous Donnie Peters.
Oh.
If you guys can put the 3 letters together.
DDP.
DDP, right? He wrestled like people like Slick Vic and all these jobbers, and they had a big street fight in my living room.
Yeah.
And destroyed my house. And used forks and knives to cut each other with.
Yeah.
DDP won. Just saying.
DDP over.
It was over. Anyway, so we had this tag team thing set up.
Yep.
Now, Nature Boy was on the opposite team. He somehow became tag team champions with this guy known as Rex.
Okay.
Who was the only guy that had not like a gimmick, like with his own name type thing, which is kind of good for him. And but he was kind of like a freak, and he had like paint and stuff because it was like a Sting kind of character. I would say, right?
Sting-esque.
And we built up this whole thing. I had a manager at the time, the Fallen Angel, which was one of woman's old gimmick manager names back in the day, because everything like made
revolved,
sense in a way. Revolved, like the Horseman, and I always thought Woman was like one of the best
female
managers that actually got the job done. It didn't screw up in costume matches. There's a difference between valets that can do the job and not do the job. And I always used Woman as the example of the one that did everything the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And would help you win and not help you lose. Anyway, so we picked this whole thing. Now remember, nothing's ever been like set up in books the way it was. So we had this whole thing going on. Underneath, I had this Horseman shirt on, and on top of it, we're like,
is it the Horseman shirt you still own?
I used the Horseman shirt that I got at the show where Kevin Sullivan got in my face. And the reason why I hate Kevin Sullivan is because he got in my face when I was a fan and told me the 4 Horsemen suck to my face.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's why I hate Kevin Sullivan.
So
as a
story.
mock, obviously, right? I mocked out and hated him.
Forever.
Took pictures with him later.
Yeah.
Remember this? That's always the thing, right? And so we had this whole thing. Now, his best friend doesn't know that we're turning on him. Now, this is legit. Like, he doesn't know what's going to happen. Okay? So the gimmick was we had the females there. Our manager is going to get in the ring, get on the apron, distract him, slap him in the face.
Yeah.
And then easily the other team is going to come in to pin him, right?
Okay.
But no, we didn't. He doesn't know this is coming. So all of a sudden we do the whole slap thing. And he like freaks out like you would freak out if somebody really slapped you in the face. You didn't know it was coming.
Yeah.
So I take my shirt off, and I get the Horseman shirt underneath, and I hit him, like, kibosh him from behind, right?
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor job. Smash him from behind. Now he doesn't want a job, though. He doesn't want to lose now.
Okay.
Now we have a big chaotic thing where Mongo comes out. Mongo was Crazy Chad, by the way.
Okay, Mongo.
I forgot the 4th member of the Horsemen. He had a New York football jersey instead of the Chicago Bears, right? And he came out with his, he had like the Legion of Doom pants that became famous, the Fubas, the Zubaz pants.
Zubas,
that's always what he used to wrestle in. He came out, and we dragged Stone Cold, who was running out of the ring, because he didn't want to lose, but we had to lose the belt so that that could happen. Instead of just saying, hey, we want to book this way, and this is what's going to happen. No, we just thought it would be funnier just to turn on somebody, just to turn on him, and turn him into a real-life, like, hated person who doesn't like me anymore. One of the reasons we don't get along, I think, back in the day.
Yeah.
So anyway, somehow it ended up where they did the Bulldog finish with Bret Hart, where they did like the little pin. His best friend, who knew about it, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody knew,
except him.
Except him, that he was going to get turned on that day. And we were, ever since then, it didn't really work out too much. And then he became Mack Echo. But
that's how the story ends. You guys beat him down and drag him around the backyard.
It became Mack Echo and this whole thing.
And that's how you guys forever hate each other.
I don't think I hate it. I just think that's probably stemmed.
That's in his memory, though. That one.
And then
time
he started
like
prank calling people, saying that Patrick Harrington, I'm gay. I'm gonna kill myself. He did that. He really did that. He really did do that. He called. He called the woman. He called the woman. He called a stranger up once, and the cops called my house thinking I was really gonna kill myself. It was a legit story.
And it all started from that turn.
And then I ended up with you somehow. EAW. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah.
10 years later, 3 years later.
So, Crave, we got about 9 minutes left of this podcast. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to talk about before we can wrap this up?
Funny backyard stuff.
Scott Levesque often forgets that he needs to talk into a microphone to be heard.
Me and I slapped Dave Oliver in the face one time in the backyard because he called me Zitz, and I didn't appreciate it too much. So I punched him, and when I punched him, he spun around. And then Kane had to save him. There was Havoc under a mask. Dressed up as Kane. He didn't try to change it at all. That's all old school stuff, you know?
And Levesque says, I ain't no backyard kid. I got no stories for you.
We'll find one day.
So, Craig, anything else that you wanted to touch on before we wrap this up? Or
No, we're good. You just do your thing, see? Thanks for listening to the podcast, everybody.
Yeah, so now you're going to make fun of me before we wrap it up. Is that what you're telling me?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We're the Whaling Tag Team Champions.
That's accurate.
We kill whales for the championships.
Folks, remember to check out monstermac.net and themaccast.com for all podcasts. The Monster Mac Show on Facebook and at Monster Mac Show on Twitter. We don't promote any of our Facebook or Twitter stuff enough.
You should. You actually should. If we do another one of these clinic things, I think you should ask people to post questions, think topics we could talk about.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're that
especially
over.
If we do it here, we can probably do live tweets and stuff because I think we have Wi-Fi here. I got some slight Wi-Fi.
I know you have at least 500 people that listen, right? At least
per pod. Yeah, each podcast is getting some decent numbers, man. Have been coming up. The Candido one's at 300 right now, and the Muldoon ones are 100 and something.
I do think a lot of people don't really know who he is.
Who Muldoon is. Those podcasts are good. Have you listened to them?
I listened to both of them. I thought they were very interesting.
They're really good, man. I enjoyed talking to him
he
a
seems
lot.
Like a good guy.
We got the Davey Cash one coming up soon, and don't forget, dude. At this point, right now, we have the brand new Mack Energy T-shirts available.
Well, I haven't seen these yet. I'll have to pick up one.
They are available, and they'll be at our next upcoming shows. And to everyone listening, I would like to say thank you for listening. I'm Monster Mac, and as always, training number 1. And this has been the Maccast. Everybody, have a great night. Or day, or evening, whatever time you're listening.